but they'll figure it out with him one way or the other. Of course, there was a little scuffle amongst teammates at a previous game when they played the Suns. They say it's misunderstanding, passion. I can understand that. You get that sometimes. Whether it's in high school, uh, city league. Hey, out on the court, out in the street. We do that sometimes. We get a little passionate. You want to. You get in each other's face. You shove a little bit, talk a little trash. Every now and again, it might too get a little scuffle. A little wrestling. Tussle, something like that. But yeah, you try to keep it to the sport. So I think them gentlemen will put it together. But my Hornets, seem like we're going to be doing great things. With LaMelo Ball. He's out there balling out of control. I don't know about the highlighter suit and everything, but that man's doing his thing. But do your thing, brother. Do your thing. So now we say that oftentimes athletes are considered role models. I can see that. And oftentimes we expect them to be a voice. And with that being said, the whole thing with Kyrie Irving and the anti-vax stance, it's understandable, very understandable. My thing is this, and like I tell people, you get paid, and not to say, oh, get out there and play ball, get out there and play, and let's stick to basketball. Nothing wrong with using your platform to speak out. But my thing is, if you're not on that platform, how are you speaking up and how you speaking out, and how you standing up for those, like you said, without a voice. Keep that in mind. I always tell my friends, family, whoever, when it comes to things of your body, putting things in it, doing things to your body, always do your research. Always ask questions. To the point where you're comfortable enough to do or not to do it. But there's, but for to not to give a well, and then you ain't got to go into depth. A well spoken, a well expanded explanation of why you don't do certain things. Is I'm not saying it's unacceptable. It just sometimes it kind of lets me down. It's like, well, are you really just doing it because you don't want to, or you're just not really sure? It's one thing to be unsure, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I'm unsure of certain things, but you know what? I try to figure out to where I am comfortable with doing certain things. When I signed my name on that dotted line, I wasn't sure up until that certain point, but I did it. Here I am, 25 years later. Plenty of stories to tell, plenty of friends to have met, plenty of wonderful people. Good place, excellent places I've seen in my life, But we always got to do our research. Always got to know what's going on, what's the latest and greatest, and how it affects those around us, and us, and little kids nowadays they look up more at athletes than anything now because they're more accessible, they're more seen, they're more out there, more, whether it's for marketing purposes, because of sports, or whatever. Those are the first people they look to. So my thing is, we're not being outright stand up citizens or people in this world. How we expect those behind us to do stuff, And when it does eventually affect you directly, and what would my thing is, what is your response going to be? How you gonna handle it? At this point, as far as athletes that I've known outright that haven't done it, like that eventually went ahead, broke down, and went ahead and got the shot, like Cam Newton. I'm pretty sure he thought well back on his legacy, what he's accomplished, what he has not accomplished. He's like, what, I got a lot to do. And he said, what? At the same time, hopefully he did his research. Hopefully he didn't just take the shot just so he can play football. Because like I said, these are things that are serious. It's still, this thing affects millions of people each day. Thousands of people are dying not only in this country, in other countries. There's probably millions there. There are thousands of people getting sick. locally, nationally, wherever people are still getting sick from this virus. So, by all means, nothing wrong with staying strong, staying firm. Make sure you're doing it for the right reason. So, that's pretty much it for sports right now. So we're gonna move on to another subject today. We're gonna move on to our black people. Uh, I might a little bit on like something I've pretty much observed in the last couple of years since I've been gone in a sense, as far as how we're viewed, interactions I've had with other people, other countries, and whatnot. We have always, you know, I've always been told that, you know, you never know how people feel and think about you, feel about you until you actually talk to somebody. And the crazy thing is, like when I was in the Middle East for about almost a year, um, it was a wonderful time I had. Like I say, there were some times it started out being slightly offended, but I understood why. Um, my first interaction with somebody they were, I want to say, a Pakistani, and it was a lovely interaction. First thing he thought I was African, over than African. I'm just like, okay, because he tried to talk to me phonetically, and after he broke it, like he trying, like English was going to be our bridging language. So so he was like, well, you speak English? I said, well, yes, just yes. So he started talking to me slow, and I was like, well, I said, excuse me, sir, where do you think I'm from? And then he used to take it back by how fluent English was. It's like, oh, you're fluent. I said, yes, I am fluent. Where do you think I'm from? I thought you from Africa. He said, I thought I was from Nigeria. And I got that a lot while I was in the Middle East. I said, no, I'm from America. He was like, really? But the crazy thing is, like I said, the offensive part he came in. So the first thing he asked me was, how many kids do I have? I don't have any kids. Just me, I'm curious. Like, what? I'm like, yeah, I don't have any kids. No kids. Like, no kids. Um, that you know of. I said, I said, I don't have any kids. I said, and like I said, it got a little humorous. I said, no, I have no kids whatsoever. And he said, well, okay, cool. How so he asked me, you carry guns or what? I was like, well, no, you can't carry guns in this country. So I don't have a gun on me. Like I don't have a criminal record like that. I got some driving tickets maybe, driving speeding tickets, but nothing, outrageous. Nothing like, because I don't think you need let felons in this country at all. Yeah. I know they don't because Pakistanis. He's not even from the country. So, we just started a good dialogue, and then he later told me, he's like, well, a lot of times we don't the people of your color, they're basically black. Usually a lot of times right here they're African, and a lot of times they portray themselves as American, but at the same time, the only time you actually see Americans is on the internet, what we watch on TV, through music. So he said you're the actually first, African American I've actually met. And I was like, okay, cool. And from that point on, it was an excellent, lovely relationship. Me and this guy. I think we reach out every now and again to one another, but it just shows that a lot of times we're viewed as the things we see on TV, the things we put up in our movies, the things we put in our music, the things we put in our magazines. Because, like I said, they do see these kind of things, and when they come to our country, that's what they expect it to be sometimes. And some of us are doctors, lawyers, um, TV reporters, soldiers, of course. Um, besides being rappers, athletes, um, drug dealers, baby makers, just bums on the street. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. And it's crazy sometimes. It's often, and we often forget, like a lot of times, how we portray ourselves, how other people are going to see us. And then we get upset when we run into other people, regardless if it's in this country or other countries, is that their first thought of us is the last, when they watch New Jack City, Nino Brown, acting a fool, stabbing my guy in the hand, because his Carter got taken, you know. They see somebody of the same pigment, and they think, oh, he's going to overreact the same way, and that's just what it is. Or they watch, world star hip hop, and they think, oh, okay, this is how we all act. We act like buffoons and jackasses, and we cut up, and we don't know how to carry ourselves. We're very unmannered. We don't have any real social skills, except we always we're always loud. We always wear loud clothes. We always have loud hairstyle. But it's always a thing of where we feel there's nothing wrong with the way we express ourselves. A lot of times, it's not make expression. Sometimes it's more you're making a statement. And sometimes we don't want that statement to be the only statement for not just myself but everybody. Like I said, I have no issues with it whatsoever. But I don't want people to feel that that's all we are. To the world, to the country, to the state, or wherever we are. In this fine little round sphere we call Earth. Just the negative connotation of what we're really not as a whole. I mean, that's been going on for years, and like I said, it's time to start cutting back on that. And like I said, it's also in how we treat each other as well. Because we do a lot of times we separate ourselves to the point to where it's not it turns into I in the community as in we as a community. Like it's been mentioned many times, we're no longer neighbors. We're just neighborhood. We're no longer a community. We're just neighbors. And even though the community is not what it used to be, what's to say we can't get back to being a community? Not necessarily we all living in the same proximity. We're all shopping. But we're all holding each other down, holding each other together. We're helping one another get one step further. And not set each other back. Lifting each other up and not holding each other down. Bringing things together instead of tearing each other apart. We're often doing that. We've been doing that too much for too long. Will it ever change? I don't know. I keep repeating myself. I love repeating. It's the only time I really love repeating anything that comes out of my mouth because I'm been passionate about it, but I'm getting to show more passion for it. And I feel that we often a lot of times we miss the mark. Like we start moving towards what we should have been. Because we're behind the curve. But then we fall back to where we're starting all over again. We're back to the bottom of the hill. Everything. Remember last year, the police brutality and everything. We're moving that direction. But sure enough, we're back down to the bottom of the hill again. Yeah, it's good to get out there and see all the videos of police misconduct and all that, and people and things are being done. But what's the next step? Everybody talking about defunding the police. Okay, so we're going to defund the police. What's the next point of action? How are we gonna keep our neighborhoods together? How are we gonna keep our people safe? Well, what's the next step? That's what I would like to know. Maybe my counterpart will have he has answers. So like I said, he has answers. And I'm always looking. I'm always listening. So I'm always here. For a kind word, a good idea of what we can do as a whole. Because I like to do my part. If it's something I can do, by all means, let me know. But my thing is, I shouldn't be the only one willing to do that. I shouldn't be the only one with the passion. Only ones, speaking. Now maybe, like I said, it's time to start doing. What can I do instead of saying? And that's that. I mean, I really don't know what too many things. We oftentimes really allow each other to just stand there and things are going on around us and we continue to not do anything. We say a lot. We do say a lot. We all say a lot. I've said a lot. But we're not doing no action behind the word. And a teacher from a while back taught me this. It's like, make sure, hopefully I said it right. He was like, speak what you know, back up. Speak what you show, act what you know. So many words. I hope I said that correctly. And and when he first said in the beginning, it never resonated with me until like years later. A lot of times is, hey, a lot of times what we say is what we should be showing, what we doing. And a lot of things what we know, hey, we should be showing as well. You know, all that should come together. When we speak, say, and do, all that should be one movement. One time, fluid. And nothing wrong with, hey, you practicing it, because I'm still practicing it. Believe me, I'm still practicing. So don't. So look, I'm not perfect. I shoot for perfection. But as much as I joke about it, I'm not. But I strive for it. My version of perfection. Everybody's version of perfection is not the same. But and I feel that we often, a lot of times, that's where we're at. We're not being fooled with everything. We'll speak the action. We know the action, but we're not acting on it. We're speaking on what we know. So oftentimes, that's where that's how I feel. Another thing, I think I think a lot of times we often feel that we're entitled. We're entitled to equality. We're not entitled to equality. I feel in my definition, I feel equality is something that should be given, and then a lot of things are not given. Often, a lot of times, I think, like I said, I believe more empowerment. That's what we can come together and do, is empower not only ourselves but each other. We do less of that. We stand around, like I said, we speak about equality, but we do less trying to empower ourselves and each other. By all means, me and my shines, I talk every day. He speaks equality, I speak empowerment, self-empowerment. You know, I think self-empowerment is the best way we can get equality, because that's what we had at one point as a community. And we had everybody living in close proximity. Like you said, when you had like Michelle say, Big Mama, your cousins, your uncles, everybody's in a close proximity. Everybody, hey, either way, you had a babysitter, somebody to watch over. Somebody's always looking over you. Somebody's going to feed you. Somebody's going to make sure you stay in line. Somebody. Like I said, we can have that. We can have all that. It's just we just gotta bring it together, come together, stand together, speak together. As a voice. You know, Sometimes the same voice doesn't have to be one voice. Doesn't have to be the voice the next time. Always have to be the same voice when somebody needs to speak out. Spokesman doesn't always have to be the same. We can't. We can sing together. You know, as a whole, but we just can't sing. You know, somebody has to be the solo act at times. Sometimes, hey, it's got to be a group thing. Sometimes it's got to be a duo. Sometimes it could be a quartet, quintet, whatever, and so forth. But this is, you know, this is where we're at this time, this moment. And there's nothing against, what has been accomplished, but I think we've been standing too long on what's been done in the past, and we lost sight of what the vision was down the road. I'm pretty sure, there was a greater vision of what Marcus, Marcus, and Martin had, and others, for us down the road, to get to equality. A lot of it was through self-empowerment. A lot of it was through self-development, self-discipline, a lot of self going on. But I mean self as in community, self as in your household, self as your family, bring all that together. Because we at one point, we had all that. We had, and we still do in some instances. But I think a lot of that has gone away from that, because it's shown that, and certain examples. Okay, well, I did it this way. Hey, you too can do it. On your own. And sometimes you may require more resources than that person required. More people, more help. Disney didn't become Disney on its own. Pepsi didn't become Pepsi on its own. You know, Pepsi owns Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, uh, KFC, and other shoot. I can go on and on. It own a lot. You got to start somewhere. You know, start with yourself. If you need to. It's a must. You must start with yourself. Then work your way with your family, and then work with other families, and then within your community. You can get so much accomplished. Believe it or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and wind it down and wrap it up. Like I said, I thank you for watching, listening. You know, 2xposu.com. Thank Daryl and Ray like always. We get back to my slogan. We finance the scholarships. We shall get back to that in the near future. Once this COVID thing dies down. You can find myself on Facebook at William Coleman on Facebook. You can find my counterpart, Sean. He changed his name so much, but he's on Facebook as well. I love him to death. That's my brother like no other. We're on Anchor at Let the Madness Begins. We're on Twitter, Instant Vintage Media. Our Facebook page is Vintage Sight and Sound. Damn, I think we're also on Instagram as well as Instant Vintage Media as well. Continue to watch us, check out for us. Like I said, on YouTube. I'm sorry, let me back up. We're also on YouTube as well. So, like I said, we're on Vintage Sight and Sound as well on YouTube. Like I said, we're going through some changes right now. We're working on some things to look official, to look right. So, like I said, we come at you correct, down the road. Look for some other things we're working on down, at the time, events or whatnot. Like I said, we'll be out there. And we look forward to connecting, making things happen, and make some changes overall. I thank you all. You have a wonderful day. Stay blessed, stay safe. And I'm out.